vandalism at a local cemetery.
Plus, we continue our election coverage with more about ballot question 2.
And a 5-year-old from Eddington who's battled cancer gets a big surprise from the Make-A-Wish Foundation. As the 10 p.m. news on Fox 22 starts right now.
Now, your primetime local news leader. Fox 22 News at 10.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Beth Jones.
And I'm Peter Dubois. Thanks for joining us. First tonight, Maine State Police have resolved what they called a critical incident in Mars Hill today. Around 1 p.m. this afternoon, Maine State Police posted on its Facebook page asking Mars Hill residents to shelter and lock their doors.
Within about an hour, the post was updated saying the incident had been resolved and there was no longer any threat to the public. Now, we'll keep you updated as we learn any new additional details.
In other news tonight, a crash in Waterville shut down I-95 near mile marker 129 last night for about an hour and a half. Maine State Police say a state trooper arrived at the scene of the crash around 8 p.m. They say 25-year-old Jace Tilson of Clinton was driving a Chevy pickup too fast and attempted to pass an SUV driven by 65-year-old Kemily Bennis of Emden. Tilson tried to pass Bennis in the breakdown lane but hit her passenger side. Officials say Tilson then lost control of the truck and it rolled over into the breakdown lane where it caught fire. Police say, though, no one was injured.
Meanwhile, a Unity man was taken to the hospital after crashing his vehicle in Castine. Maine State Police spokesperson Shannon Moss says the crash occurred on Shore Road, less than a mile from Mill Lane, around 3 p.m. on Tuesday. The driver, identified as 21-year-old Adam Reed, was traveling north when he reportedly lost control of his vehicle and skidded off the road. Moss says Reed's vehicle then rolled over and hit a tree. Reed was taken by ambulance to Northern Light Eastern Maine Medical Center in Bangor with serious injuries. The cause of that crash was not immediately identified.
The Bucksport Police Department is investigating vandalism at a local cemetery. Our Melissa Falcone has the story.
Off this deserted road in Bucksport sits Moulton Cemetery. The Bucksport Police Department says they received reports of vandalism late Thursday night, leaving this cemetery with broken and toppled tombstones.
And while we were there, it didn't turn out to just be a few headstones. It turned out to be every single headstone in the cemetery that could have been knocked over and destroyed was, unfortunately, they went through and kicked over everyone.
The historical cemetery consists of about 85 gravestones and contains the remains of mostly fallen soldiers. Several residents and visitors to the region were upset by the crime.
Absolutely terrible, especially with graves. I mean, with your dead, you ought to have a little bit of peace and quiet.
I think it's super disrespectful to just treat a grave like that, like it's someone's memorial, and there are people who go there to mourn that person, and destroying that is really disrespectful and not great.
I think basically when families bury their dead loved ones, they put them in their final resting place, and it's pretty disrespectful to enter into someone's life in that way and destroy things that aren't yours and don't belong to your family.
The Bucksport Police Department urges anyone with information to contact them to help solve this case. In Bucksport, I'm Melissa Falcone for ABC 7 and Fox 22.
Well, in other news tonight, the Maine CDC is reporting another 649 new cases of COVID-19 and 7 more deaths associated with the virus. That brings the statewide death toll now to 1,109 people. The total number of cases since March of last year has now reached 99,256. Due to ongoing high rates of community transmission, the U.S. CDC continues to recommend that people in all of Maine's 16 counties wear face coverings in indoor public settings. Now, to date, 2,691 Mainers have been hospitalized due to COVID-19. And according to an update on Maine CDC website, currently 199 people are being treated for COVID-19 in the hospital, 67 of them in critical care, 30 on ventilators.